Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me get some more light in here for us. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay, you guys. Interesting morning. Interesting morning. I'm here and I'm going to wait about 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and I'm going to get started. So I apologize. Good morning. I was struggling to come on this morning, but I said, weather through, power through, you can do it. Good morning, my East Coast, West Coast budgeteers. This is Coach Adrian, and we were gonna budget today. Gonna talk about our savings, savings, savings. Yes, yes, yes. We are going to save and prioritize these savings goals. Yes, yes, yes. So, want to give y'all a little update while I'm waiting for a few people to come on. And I have determined within myself that this is something that I will do, and I'm excited. But I want to give you a little update as to where I am in my mental health journey. These last few weeks have been some trying times for me, but as they would say, but God. Yes, yes, yes. The author and the finisher of my faith, the love of my life, my everything, my husband, my Lord, my best friend, my protector, my waymaker, my Jehovah Jireh, the God that provides all things. In the midst of my mental struggles, my ups and my downs, my highs and my lows, God has gotten me through. And protect your mental health. You got to pull back. You've got to figure this out so you can be here for a long time, for the appointed time, for the season to share and declare and decree the things that God has purpose for you to be here. And so if we're not here doing what we're supposed to do, then someone else is suffering because you're born for a gift and for a time such as this. And my gift and my time is to spread this love about financial empowerment so you can retire. My goal and my commitment is to share these easy, practical, sensible, step by step tools to help you save for your emergency fund so you can start your debt reduction plan. That is what it's all about. So, I'm here today to let you know that I love you. And no matter what you have gone through this last week, we're going to wash it off today. It's Saturday, and you know what happens on Saturday. That's the end of the week. And Sunday starts a fresh week. So we're going to do like Taylor Swift, the famous Taylor Swift, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Okay, I don't want to do any copyright infringements, but just let it go. Let it go. Shake that right on off, okay? Love yourself, love those around you. Even if they don't love you or treat you good, still show love. Don't be a patsy, but show love and keep your focus on the goals of your $1,000, your savings goals of $1,000, and then we'll start our debt reduction plan. I love you guys. I love you guys. So, we waited 4 minutes, and like I said, I apologize. I had to get it together there. I said, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Like the little engine that said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Choo choo. I am here for you. I love you guys. I hope you had a fabulous week. And self-care, mental health is a part of that self-care. Take care of the whole you, okay? Mind, body, soul, and spirit. The whole you. It doesn't matter what life throws at you, but we've got to be able to deal with it so we can come on the other side stronger and even better. Okay? I love you guys. Oh my goodness, I love you guys. All right, so let's get started. Last week we talked about the 5 things that delayed you not having your the last week we talked about the 5 things that delayed you on having the savings goals that you desire. This week we're going to talk about 3 things, okay? 3 things that you can do to work on your savings goals. All right. So we have 3 things that you can do that will automatically catapult you into that savings goal arena that you want. 3 things. All right. And although you say, oh, 3 things, but these 3 things come with a lot of work. And I'm not one to sugarcoat and try to pretend to you guys that these things are going to be poof, like a magic dragon that's going to just come and go the way you want them to. Too much is given, much is required. And that is from the word. Too much is given. So you want something given, much is required. That means you have to do something. You want something, but you have to do a set of things to make the manifestation come alive. So the 3 things that I'm going to speak about today is, one, and you're not going to like this, but I have to say this. In order for you to be successful with your savings goals, number 1, you have to look at yourself and analyze, what is it about you that you can't save? And what is it about you that you are struggling with saving? What is it about you? And you need to say your name. What is it about Adrian that she just can't seem to commit to savings? Now, the A part of this is you do commit. You commit in your mind. But we need a commitment in your heart. And the third, you don't have a why. You don't have a why. Because when you have a why, when it comes to commitment of any sort, but today we're speaking of savings, what is your why? Why can't you and why should you? Okay? We're going to take that why, we're going to take it 2 places. Why can't you? That's the first thing we're going to do in our 3-part. First of all, these are some examples, and I'm not talking at you because there are other people, there are other persons in this world that's doing the same thing. We don't have the right mental tools from early on, from conception. We have not had a model. We have not had an example of what savings look like, because the people that surround us, 9 times out of 10, were spenders. Even if they had enough money to do what they're supposed to do, they had no intentions, or no one taught them, or no one impressed upon them to save. That's the first thing. You have to understand that there is a reason why you should save. Now, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and that's all you've seen all your life, and nobody has impressed upon you that savings is good, then that's not a priority. That's something you're interested in. Also, if you don't have a reason to save, you don't have a why. If you don't say, I'm saving for my $1,000 emergency fund, I'm saving to purchase a better car, I'm saving to move out of this apartment to get a home, I'm saving for my children's education, I'm saving for vacation. You have to have a why. You have to have something that's going to impress upon you to be like, no matter what, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Let me say this again. The reason why you are not savings because you have not identified the why, the thing that's going to keep you focused. Why do you get up every day and go to work in the morning? Why? Because you want to get that check. There's a reason. And why do you need that check? To live, for survival. You know, they call it survival of the fittest. You have to get up, you have to work, you have to put in the grind. And for some of you that are entrepreneurs, you still have to get up and push a button, call a few people, go online, do whatever you do. But nothing is free. Now, if you are given an inheritance, that's totally different. But if you don't plan and prioritize, that is going to be squandered. What is your why for saving? What is your why? And once you identify that, that gives you something to focus on, something to get you excited. So when you come into the fork in the road where you have to make a decision to spend or to save, to spend or to save, and those little devils and angels on your shoulder, spend that money, save that money, save that money. And you're toiling back and forth. Woo! You're like, my head's spinning. You know the right thing to do. To him that knows to doeth good and doeth not, to him it is sin. So we know that saving for our why, our thing, our trip, our emergency fund, you know, our car, our home, we know that's right. But then that restaurant and those friends and all this frivolous stuff is dangling like a carrot in our face, and we know not what to do. Yes, we do. We know what to do. We just choose to do what we want to do. We want to be gratified immediately. Oh, we want to just go to that restaurant and eat and kiki with our friends and laugh. And then we come home with buyer's remorse. That meal is gone, got a little indigestion, you're frustrated, or you look over at that beautiful purse you bought and it's empty, and you're like, oh, here I go again. Here you go again. Same place, because you neglected to focus on your why. Your why has to be so important to you and so larger than life, because it's the thing that's going to make you feel happy. You know, we always want something to feel good. Well, to me, happiness is peace. And you know what peace is? Having a financial peace of mind that I have $1,000. If something happens to my children, my husband, my partner, my significant other, my family members, whomever I'm responsible for, even if it's just yourself, you have an emergency landing. That if something happens, you know, you will fall on that mattress instead of that hard floor, whether it be concrete, whether it be carpet, or whether it be hardwood or vinyl. It's a fall. And when we fall, we want to fall in a nice landing. Okay. That's what the emergency fund is about. So figuring out your why. Why would this be important to you? Why is it that you need to save this money? And also going back to that A part, watching these videos, I have a plethora of videos that talk about prioritizing and why we are where we are and how to get over some of those social, economic obstacles, barriers, and getting out of our head and getting into our heart. The love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself, the love of it. So I want you to love it, to put it in the bank, to have you some emergency funds, to put it in your hand so you can take it and pay your bills, loving it that way, but not in an idolatry type way, to idolize money. That, oh, I'm better because I have this or I have that. You have enough money. It's what are you doing with it? You're not putting it where it should go. Or you start out good. Oh, we start out good and then we fail. We drop the ball. As soon as you get $200 or $300, then you get to itching. You get to itching. You know I'm a nurse, so you get to fiending. You need that drink, or you need that fix. You need that drug. And drugs are not always substances. Those clothes, that high, those natural endorphins that you feel, just like a runner's high. When you spend money, when you put all that stuff in that shopping cart, you be like, oh, this feel good. When you run to the mailbox and you get something off your porch that comes in a box that came from something that starts with an A, you know, that the UPS people have delivered, or something that starts with a T that you went online and you purchased from all these different vendors. Oh, and you take it out of the box and it's shiny and it's glistening and you're so excited. And then the next day, let down, because you see it on your credit card statement. And the reality, is it worth it? Now, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You can take it back. You can ask for return address label. I'm telling you, I had a friend that I was helping with her debt, her and her husband, for 2.5 years. And we got their debt down and they were ready to buy a house. And she went for an oil change and came back with a new car. How do you get that sidetracked that you go for an oil change and you come back with not a used car, a brand new, fully functioning, same car that she had, just 2 or 3 years newer? And I said, what happened to you wanting a house? You already have a car. You already had a car. You live in an apartment. You get so sidetracked. Your whole goal is a car. I mean, a house. But you let the salesman with their slick talking just it was a Friday. I said, "Oh, you taking that car back?" And I was so determined that she was taking that car back, because I did not waste 2.5 years for someone to work with them on their finances and they dropped the ball, because I was vested. Well, what do people say? I give less than a darn about people. You need to make a decision. So this is how I got her back. Your why. First of all, this car is the same car. It's black with the same interior. It does not look anything like nothing, except when you get inside. Then they had the park where you could see the dashboard was different with the Parktronics and all that. But you had to get in the car to know the difference. Well, she did take it back on a Monday. And about 6 months later, they did move into their home. But you see how how are you this close? Your credit score is banging, boo. You done paid off your debt, and you're this close to getting into your brand new house, and you fumble the ball. I wish I knew some more football jargon, because that would have been good, but that's all I know. She fumbled the ball, and her husband went along with that foolishness. Who does that? You need to have communication. Okay, I digress. I wanted to give you something big to let you know that even when you're saving for a house, you can make dumb, I can use the word dumb, unwise, crazy, silly, impulsive decisions. Impulse. Come on, get back with it. This is very important, to identify that why and your reason for the savings. All right? That's the most important thing, because that is the thing that should keep you motivated and encouraged to stay on task, to put that money away. That's really the most important thing. Knowing and identifying within yourself what your why is and staying on task. Besides your childhood and the visions and the examples of money, how to spend it, how to save it, having it, not having it, from your early development until now. Some of us are in our 30s, our 40s, our 50s, our 60s, and we still have not found an example. And some of us just have to get away from those people. Now, I don't mean physically like get away, but mentally get away. At 7 o'clock or 6:30, everybody's scrounging up their money to pay the lottery. Do you have to put $20 on that number for the last 50 years? $20, $20. Oh, it's just $20 or $10 or whatever you spend a week. Those habits and those things have to change. All right. The next thing we do is we need to have a safeguard for our savings. Now, when I say safeguard, there needs to be a real safeguard. And I've spoken to you guys about that. So number 2 is a safeguard for your savings. Meaning you've come up with your why, you've dealt with some of the things that you have learned or have not learned, or you've learned and you need to unlearn and retrain your mind and your thinking. But now we need to say that, yes, we're saving, but how do we get that savings done? And how do we ensure that it happens in a routine? We need habits, right? In order for you to meet your savings goals, you must immediately deal with your lack of or your inability to embrace that change has to come. That means that childhood stuff, that learned behavior, all of that stuff has to be dealt with. In addition to that, on your first thing, you have to identify your why, like what and why you're saving. What is the purpose? To give you that motivation. The second thing is, how will I execute it? What is it that I can do to make sure that I stick to this? Number 1, where is the money going to come from? You're going to take X amount of money from what? Your paycheck. You get paid twice a month. Are you going to take it from the first check or the second check? And when you decide that, where are you going to put it? Are you going to put it in that envelope? Are you going to put it over in a checking account? Or are you going to put it in a savings account? And it needs to be some way where you have little interaction. I have my $200 allotment going for my 2026 Super Bowl savings. I'm up to $800 in one, and the other one is like $1,250. That was from last year. This year's $800 because I'm following their rules, okay? But it just happens. It happens. It comes in my account, and I push it over to that 4.83% savings. You have to have a real plan. I don't care if you say I'm taking $15 each pay period, whatever that is, but where are you going to put it? Ensuring that you have a place for it is automatic, and you will not be able to think about getting your hands on to do anything with, because what? It's emergency. And what I did was I put it in, it's for 1 year, so I don't take any of the dividends out. However, if I do, it's a penalty. Now I'm saving for the Super Bowl. I have my emergency money. I have my 6 months of emergency. I have my 1,500, whatever, touch your hand money. But I will have a penalty for early withdrawal. So sometimes you need to do things like that. So if you touch that money, oh my goodness, it's going to be a price to pay. Make a decision of how much that is going to be, how often you're going to do it. Mine is every pay period. Yours could be every pay period or every other pay period. But I caution you, it's better to save small increments. So if you say you want to save $100 a month, let's just do $50 a pay period. That's easier if you get paid every 2 weeks. Or if you get paid every week, just say, I'm going to save $25. Let that money come first, because what? Your savings goals is number 1 priority, because you worked hard. You deserve to save. Then we'll go into the other parts of our income. That's the second thing, is finding the place and the amount of what you want to save. Because I'm saving the $200 every pay period for the next 2.5 years for, and actually started in October of 2023, for my savings goals to go to the Super Bowl 2026 right here in Santa Clara, California. I have that allotment, and it says it, allotment on my check. It says allotment. And then I go over to Navy Federal and it's there. And I click a button and it goes over to where all that interest rate is so I can get it. Yes. I don't care if you're saving for that $1,000. You have to have that goal. All right? Find a place for it. Find a place for it. Find a place for it. Find a place. Okay? So that's the second. The third is, this is something that you might not like, but I have to say this. In order for you to be successful with your savings goals, is the third thing. You have to monitor your goal in some interval. I monitor my savings goals. I do it weekly. And you say, oh, why you do it weekly? Because I have 5 different savings goals that I am doing at one time. And I'm not going to mention it because I don't want people to say, oh, you're bragging. But you have to realize that this is my 3rd year of being debt free from consumer debt. So I'm doing some things that are different because I have more money to do it. I still look every Wednesday, one day a week. You have to choose the day to look at your budget, to look at your savings goals, to look and see what the interest rates of those credit cards. What bill are you paying down this month? What is your goal for the next 3 months? All those things is that financial picture. And you have to be able to monitor those savings goals. If you don't do it weekly and see that there's no extra money, so I need to just take this $5 and be glad to put over in it. Celebrate the small wins. You have $20. Someone gave you some money, or it's your birthday, or you got a bonus. But whatever happens, you need to take that and look at it every week, every 2 weeks, once a month. I dare you, I double dog dare you not to look at those finances let's just stick with no less than a month, because it needs to be real. It needs to be just like you go and watch your favorite TV show every Monday, or you go walking every day. It should be like, everybody loves to talk about religion. Your savings and your financial goals should be your religion. It should be just that important. Your faith, what do you believe in? And I'm not making mockery of religion, but that is the one thing that people get into and they stand on it. Believe in these savings. Believe in your budget. So you need to keep your eye on it. Why is it important to keep your eye on it? Because it keeps you motivated on your why. It keeps you motivated on, oh, mama and them didn't have no money. Or my cousin, they lost their house. They had to come live with us for 2 months because their house went in foreclosure. These are the things that let you know, like, danger, danger. I don't want that. So now you go back to, oh yeah, this is why I'm doing this. Or you see your little kids running around and tearing up the house and having fun like they do, or in the backyard, or whatever they're doing at the park. And you say, they're college fund. I can't steal from my children. I'm going to sit myself down and I'm going to reprioritize. So that's what your goal is, to monitor those saving goals, those spending habits. Monitor that once a week, every 2 weeks, or at least once a month. You need to go back and look at everything you have, because the visual will be in front of you. Write the vision, make it plain. Though it tarries, it will come. Tarry means it might take a minute, like I'm saving 3 years for the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna get to the end game if I live to see. But as long as I have breath and I have the income coming in, I'm gonna do that. I prioritize that, just like my grocery. It's on there. It is a bill. Just like lights, water, gas, natural gas, and car gas. It's a priority. So when you prioritize yourself, oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Listen to me. We talk about self-care mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and financially. Your savings goals should be a priority. Just like you taking a nice bubble bath and relaxing, taking 15 minutes to just reset before you go out into the world with your children, with your husband, before you say something correct, you just get yourself back together. You talk to yourself, you say it out loud, you do your affirmations. You need to affirm that it is my right to save, because you're caring for yourself. That $1,000 is self-care, because it's going to help you mentally. If the roof leaks, if the tires pop, if the engine goes out. These are the things that you need to care for yourself. Financial freedom, caring for yourself, to have your financial savings. Because mentally, when something happens, you take a deep breath and you say, let me go over to this emergency savings and let me make that payment. And you have peace to know that you have it. There's a peace of financial empowerment. You might still have a million other bills to pay, but you have that emergency fund. And now you're going to start debt reduction because you have your $1,000 emergency fund. But before then, you're going to be frustrated because things will come, but we have to be prepared. Okay, so let's recap. I love you guys. The things that you want to do to help you to be able to save and stay focused on your financial goals is deal with your inner peace or lack of when it comes to your understanding of finances and savings. And savings is a priority. Yes, it is. And why? What is the thing that you're saving for? And why is it important? The second thing is, where and how are you going to save? Being very specific and strategic in your savings process. How often is it going to come out? Where is it going to come from? And where are you going to put it? Those are some of the strategies. And it needs to be realistic. You know you're not going to save $1,000 every pay period. Now, some of us that are in a different, that's different. Let's be realistic on your savings and your money that you bring in. And then the third thing is monitor those savings goals weekly, every 2 weeks, or at least minimum once a month. Look at how you're doing, why you're doing. I love to look over there and see my money in that account. It's okay. Visualize where you want to be and take that energy and say, I'm going to do it. This is the reason why I said, this is my why. I'm saving for Super Bowl 2026 in Santa Clara, California. I'm saving $200 per pay period as of October of 2023. I have about $2,000 now. And I'm so excited Oh, yes. And I have it automatically coming out every 2 weeks, going over into an allotment. And how often do I look at it? I look at my bills every Wednesday. And I love to see where I'm going, make sure things are good. You will also catch something. I caught a bill that I didn't realize I didn't have it set up the way I needed to have it set up. So I had to reallocate it. And I'm supposed to be the little finance person. So what I'm saying to you is, if you oftentimes just breeze over, look over once a week of your finances, then you get excited. You say, oh, I didn't catch this. This is okay. And I put it on a click for an automatic. I want you to embrace and smile because you took your Saturday morning and you said, I'm going to figure out 3 ways to focus and stay centered on my savings goals. Yes. And you did it. I love you. Enjoy the rest of this day, the rest of this week. You guys are phenomenal. I love you. Mwah. Mental health, mental health. Don't let them stress you out. Get in that bathroom, get you a bubble bath, take a shower, close the door, put your music on, get in the car, go for a ride. Take you some tea, cup of coffee, whatever your little relaxation. Go to the gym, run around in the backyard, do whatever you need to do. And for me, I just had to scream and holler and let out some ugly cries and snot, and then look at yourself and say, girl, do you know what you're made of? Do you know who made you? Do you know that you have a purpose? Shake yourself up and get out of this. Love yourself. There's only one you, and no one can do Adrian but Adrian. So I have to be here to do it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a phenomenal week. See you next time.